Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're going to look at the expansion pack for Fallout, the board game, the new California expansion. Now, this is the first expansion set for the Fallout board game, but it's also significant for other reasons. Most people who were introduced to the Fallout universe were introduced via the game Fallout 3, which came out in the Xbox 360, PS3 and PC and whatnot. However, what's interesting about this game is it's set in California. Now, California was the setting for the old Fallout games, Fallout 1 and 2, which came out on the PC only and was an isometric turn-based game. Now, for someone who's very much an old-school Fallout fan like I am, I've been lucky to be following this franchise from day one. This is quite a treat. I mentioned in my review video that it would be fantastic if they went back to Fallout 1 and 2 and took some of the inspiration and the ideas and the IP from there, and they have actually gone ahead and done that. So all I can say is kudos to Fantasy Flight and kudos to the designers of the game, and this is one I cannot simply wait to open. So without any further ado, I'll just open her up. Now, as you can see from the back, we have 5 new figures, we have a whole load of new tiles, and throwing that aside, we're going to have a look at the box itself. Now, Vault 44 is the actual vault. Now, it's not a vault I'm aware of, so this could be possibly just the addition of one extra vault, or there could be a whole quest around the actual idea of a Vault 44. Now, opening the box for the first time, we'll just put the lid back here. We start off with a component list, which is very handy. Now, we have 12 new map tiles, 6 scenario sheets, 5 figures, enemy tokens, and all the other bits and pieces, blurb, and cards. We have what seems to be the additional rules, so there doesn't seem to be that many rule changes in the actual game, which, okay, fair enough. Now, we have here the actual tile sets, so what I'll do is I'll open these because it's set in Fallout 1 and 2, I am very curious to see what actual cities or settlements or towns or areas have actually made it from those 2 first games. So taking it off, we have here a boxcar, we have a plain desert site, we have Endsmeet, Dead End Crossing, all areas that I'm not too aware of, and these are all green city tiles. We have here Vault 7, the Hole. Now, the Hole was in Fallout 1, which was a fantastic kind of dungeon. It was like an old, well, I won't spoil it, but it was something that was incredible to explore, and you really leveled up in there. It was quite creepy. You have the Palisades, and these are 3 red and 1 green tile. And you have here, of course, Vault 44, which seems to be the game's namesake. You have the New California Republic. Now, looking at it, this seems to be a modern version of it. You have Arroyo, which is from Fallout 2. So New California Republic and Arroyo are from Fallout 2. The hub is from Fallout 1. If we look on the other side, we have the Poseidon Isle Rig, which is Fallout 2, Lost Hills Bunker, which is Fallout 2, and the Cathedral, which is Fallout 1. So that's very interesting. Now, we have a few other bits and pieces, monsters, tokens, things like that. I won't look at those too much. We'll go down to the rest of the actual game. So, opening up the cards, these look like the story cards here, so I'll just pull them out. And we have, of course, the settlement cards, we have the wasteland cards, we have a whole load of new story cards, specific ones, Liberty Prime, Companion Robot, so we have an awful lot of cards to be added on. We have Vault 7, so it's good that there's 2 new vaults in this. We have shield icons, a whole load of story cards that seem to be numbered from 160 to 238. Now, from what I can remember, there's roughly 159 cards in the original game, so you can easily fold these 2 into the one and it won't have any difficulty separating them. Now, there's a whole load of new starter cards, which seem to be kind of caravans and settlements. So if you've played your original game to exhaustion, you can quite frankly, happily enjoy this. Now, it goes all the way up to 242, so there's a lot of story and scenario cards here. Sorry, I tell a lie, it goes up to 244, and there's several versions of the 244 card here. So as you can see, So, and 2 of the 243. So maybe this is an interesting one where you have alternative endings. Now we will find out in the review, because I fully intend to review this game because I'm such a fan of it. We have here the figures, so I'll bring them over here. We can get a bit closer look. We have a Mr. Handy robot. Now, the model work is, of course, superb, as Fantasy Flight tend to be these days. We have I think this is the Gunslinger. So it's a female character with the trusty sidearm weapon, which I think is that character's special ability. So it's a nice kind of charismatic pose there. We have what is the Caravan Guard. Now, this is an interesting character because from what I remember reading in the upcoming blurbs, this character, as soon as he parks or camps, he can set up and shop, and other players, if they happen to share the same space with him, can also shop with this character if they pay a nominal fee of like 1 cap or something. We have here the New California Ranger. So this could be quite interesting, that if you are playing as an NCR Ranger, you could be taking the first steps of the New California Republic expanding out to the wasteland. And we have what looks to be an Enclave figure here in the scary looking, horrible Enclave armor. And of course, all of these figures are in superb condition, very, very clearly defined, and they look great. So going back to the box, we have here a whole host of new little cards. So I'll just tidy this up a little bit and push that up there. We have here a whole heap of them. So I'll just go over here to the side camera again. We have the missile launcher, which looks very interesting. So after you kill an enemy, exhaust to kill other enemies of equal or lower level in the space in each adjacent space. So it does exactly what it says in the tin. You can kind of kill everything all around you. You have a flamer, you have a harpoon gun, which is interesting because this is from the expansion from the DLC in Fallout 4. So I'm actually quite impressed. If I'm reading this right, not only has it given 2 new scenarios, but it's expanded, or assuming this right, it's expanded on the original board game scenarios as well. So great value for money here. You get the Rockville Slugger. So now you have John Cassidy. John Cassidy actually was a fantastic companion in Fallout 2, and it's actually lovely to see the guy again. Before a fight, exhaust to give your equipped weapon the range icon until the end of the fight and generate 1 reroll. If you do not have any drug items, keep this companion when it on exhausts. Now this is quite interesting because Cassidy in Fallout 2 was a fantastic character, but his one flaw was you couldn't use stimpaks on him because he had a heart condition. So kudos to the guys who've designed this game that were able to keep that little part on it. Now this is Ian. Ian, of course, is the first companion you got in Fallout 1. Before a fight, exhaust lower the enemy's level by 1, minimum 1. Then suffer 2 damage from friendly fire. This is also very clever. In the original Fallout game, the first companion you got was Ian. But Ian had a submachine gun and was notorious for shooting you in the back. So it's brilliant that the guys who designed this game have actually been able to give a bit of fan service on that as well. So I have to say I am wholly impressed so far. We have a bear trap, which during your turn you exhaust to place an unused quest marker in your space and add on this card. So basically you can set bear traps for all these monsters following you, which is interesting because if you played this game solo, you tend to get ganged up on an awful lot. So you can actually preempt some of those bad guys. We have fragmentation grenades. We have a cryo grenade. I'll just show it here. The cryo grenade. We have a bobby pin, which is interesting now. During a test that uses perception, you may discard this card to add 1 hit. We have the 10mm pistol. You have the hunting rifle. You have the .44 pistol. The detective's coat, which looks like it's Nick's Valentine's coat. The flight helmet. We've Harold. Now Harold, of course, is another very old character, and he seems to be a companion. So when you shop, exhaust to gain 2 additional caps for each item you sell. What's interesting about Harold is in Fallout 3, he was introduced to us all as quite literally a tree. But prior to that, he was a walking, talking character. You have, of course, additional junk cards. You have Purified Water, Radex, Medex, Orange Mentats, a whole hope of different things. This one looks interesting. A Nuka-Cola. During a turn, you may discard this card to perform one additional action and then gain a cap. So much like the actual computer game, when you drink a Nuka-Cola, you get an extra cap. Now, Tycho is a character from Fallout 1. Exhaust when you explore to gain 2 XP. Now, Tycho was a brilliant character in Fallout 1. He was a man of very little words. Quite frankly, he was there, but he was such an exceptional fighter. He was Tycho the Desert Ranger, I think, which was, a Fallout, which was a nod to the game Wasteland. It was a kind of an Easter egg to the Wasteland, which was the series that basically was there before Fallout. But anyway, I digress. We have Bottle Cap Mines. We have Strength Bobblehead, Perception Bobblehead. We have a whole heap of bobbleheads here, which is very interesting. It's great that they've managed to bring some bobbleheads into the game. Now we have Marcus, which was a fantastic character. Now he was in Fallout New Vegas, but he was also a big character in Fallout 2 in Broken Hills. He was actually voiced by Michael Dorn, who was of course, as anyone knows, is Worf from Star Trek. But he was a fantastic character, a very kind of old school, kind of cowboy, rough and ready, does what's right type of character. We have Gorus, who was a Deathclaw, a friendly Deathclaw in Fallout 2. We have Telsa Armor, a Telsa Rifle, Big Frigger, Vault Security Armor, Nuka-Cola Quantum, where during this turn you may discard this card to perform 3 additional actions and then suffer 3 radiation and gain, of course, 1 cap. You have your special book where you can level up. The Cryolator, which of course is from Fallout 4. The Gamma Gun, which is from Fallout 4. Advanced Power Armor, Wasteland Map. Oh, actually, I think these are the actual character cards. So just bear with me and I'll put these out. I'm going to have an actual look at the characters. So I guess we'll start off with Mr. Handy. So of course this is the Mr. Handy model, and the 2 cards you get are the first one, place this card in your play area. It cannot be traded or discarded. You cannot use drug or aid items or gain traits other than vilified and idolized. And you may discard a junk card and recover 5 HP. So that's an interesting card, that you can't use drugs to basically amend your stats. But you needn't worry not being able to use Stimpaks, because you can use those junk cards to basically heal up. Now there's another version of it here, which modular exploiting, which this item cannot be unequipped or discarded. You may keep 2 additional cards in your inventory, and if you have at least 1 junk card in your inventory, increase your shield by 1, and you do not suffer radiation damage. So the Mr. Handy character is quite interesting. The Enclave character, which is this lovely looking fella, has an automatic shield of 1, and when you kill an enemy, you gain 1 additional XP. We have here the Lone Gunslinger, and her speciality card is the Trusty Sidearm. So during a fight, if this card is in your inventory, your currently equipped range weapon gains luck. However, you cannot purchase, gain, or equip companions while this item is either equipped or in your inventory. So they call it the Lone Gunslinger, but I think they missed a trick here. They should have called it the Lone Stranger. But I suppose they would have. I suppose you get what they're hinting at. We have here the Caravan Merchant, and his special card is a Brahmin, Lady Butterheart. So after setup, you gain 4 caps, and when you perform a camp action, you may shop once. Other survivors may give you 1 cap to shop once when they camp in your space. So that's an interesting little card that you can, if you follow other players as they're traipsing across the wasteland, you can offer them a free shop. And we have here, of course, the NCR Ranger. Now, what we have here is a wasteland map. So when placing your figure during setup, flip 2 tiles that are adjacent to the starting tile. Choose 1 space in any of those tiles to start in. And you may also ignore the aggressive action icon on enemies. So this seems to be a character that can traverse the wasteland quite well. One of the last things we have here are more perk cards. So we have Heavy Lifter, Concentrated Fire, Chem Resistance, Lady Killer, Black Widow, which during a fight, your currently equipped weapon gains Charisma. Discard if you're vilified. We have Nerd Rage, Moving Target, Ricochet. So we have a whole new pile of perk cards. And the last thing we will look at are the scenario setups. Now this should be interesting because there's 6 of them. So the first one here is Far Harbor Expanded. Now what I like about this is it's the original scenario, but with all the extra tiles added in. So there's 12 new tiles in this game. So it's a much bigger map, of course, with all the extra quests and whatnot. So you can also stage 243 and 244 and then add card 31. So all these extra cards that have come into the game can actually be thrown into it. So the original scenarios have been expanded upon and have become much bigger, which I think is brilliant because you get to revisit those scenarios. We have the Commonwealth expanded, which this is the whole new map. You have the Pit expanded, and the map, in fairness to it, looks huge. Now I did notice in the box that it says game time of 2 to 3 hours, so with the expanded tiles I'm sure that is definitely the case. The Capital Wasteland expanded again, has a whole load of new characters or new tiles again, and we have New California. Now this one should be interesting. This is, of course, I'd have to read out the actual story card to stay it, but I'll just show you here close up. Arroyo in Fallout 2 was your starting village. You have Crossroads Camp. You have Poseidon Oil Rig, which was where you meet Harold. And you have the New California Republic. So this could be an interesting scenario. It could even be the cooperative one. I know that one of these scenarios is a cooperative one where you could all be working for the benefit of the New California Republic. And we have the Rise of the Master. So as you can see from the map there, it's a nice big one. I'll just bring it a little closer here. Now you can see you start off maybe with Lost Hills Bunker. You have Crossroads Camp. You have the Hub, which was the big city, would have been Diamond City in Fallout 1. And the Cathedral. So this is a huge map again. The 2 factions, of course, are the Brotherhood of Steel and the Unity. Now, the Unity was basically where all the super mutants came from. So, on first impression, this expansion set seems to be amazing. I did have problems with the original Fallout board game, but I think this one seems to have answered all my critiques, all my prayers, and it's something I am very much looking forward to playing. Thank you for watching this with me, for being here for this unboxing. If you liked this little unboxing, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and please do keep an eye on the channel because I fully intend to give an exhaustive review on this expansion board game for Fallout, the board game. Until next time, this is Sean from The Lucky Roll. Good luck and God bless.